we dream a lot. As much as 1/12 of our lives, in fact. Now, if you look at this chart here, you can see it's 1/12. Now, if you take a year, the average lifetime of a European citizen, which is about 78 years, it is proportional to 6.5 years of dreaming. Now, that's a lot. And it's even more than we can imagine. So let's take in similar terms. This is a year. This is 12 months that we know. Now, you are awake for 8 months. You are asleep for 3 months, and you dream for 1 month. 1 month just purely for dreaming. Now, dreams are important, and not because they take up so much time of our lives, but also because they have biological functions. And more importantly, they are a source of really huge inspiration. Now, there have been many examples in history where many people have been inspired by dreams. And they took those creations that they found in dreams and took them and applied them to the real world. And in turn, they changed the real world and our lives. Now, I'll give some examples of that. This is the periodic table, which was invented by Mendeleev. He had this table in a dream, and it offered insight into the way that elements are, the relations between elements, and the way that they can be ordered in such an elegant and simple way. And it was a breakthrough in chemistry. The second thing, this is a snake that's eating its own tail, obviously. And this snake was first dreamed of by a scientist, a German chemist, named August Kekulé, who then went on to discover the structure of benzene. Now, this was a breakthrough because no one in that field at that time knew that carbon can form such circular bonds. People usually thought that they should be linear or branched, not circular. That was just out as well. It didn't even hit their minds. This required thinking outside the box, and that's what dreams provide. Now, this is an example from mathematics. This is Ramanujan's formula for calculating the value of pi. It is regarded as one of the most prominent, most effective and efficient methods of calculating the value of pi. And it's today used by world's leading supercomputers to actually calculate the pi to the infinite digits. So, of course, dream inspiration is not only restricted to scientists and mathematicians. Here's an example, the sewing machine. It was first conceived in a dream. Now, I bet you have some clothing on and fabrics, and it's a high likelihood that it was sewn together by a sewing machine. So this comes from dreams. Another example in literature, the world-famous Frankenstein. It was also inspired by dream. The Beatles song Yesterday was also inspired by dreams. And you can see the effect that dreams can have on our lives in all fields and basically everywhere. So, what exactly stops you from being inspired by those dreams? How can you be like those scientists? How can you get inspired and become world's leading mathematicians, scientists, inventors, writers, or anything for that matter? Well, the thing is that we don't know how to control our dreams, at least not most of us. And indeed, there are possibilities of actually harvesting these dream resources, actually thinking about it, and actually finding ways how you can put those dreams into practical use. Now, the art of harvesting these resources is called lucid dreaming. Now, lucid dreaming is a way to dream and know that you are dreaming. It's a way of conscious dreaming. So basically, you are in a dream and you are aware of that fact. Yes, I'm dreaming right now. And this actually leads to very huge abilities and actually really huge possible inspirations. So I wouldn't be talking about lucid dreaming if it were not a science. And indeed, until the 20th century, until the end of the 20th century, most scientists consider lucid dreaming together with other pseudosciences. Now, fortunately, there were scientists such as Celia Green, Keith Hahn, and Stephen LaBerge, who actually, despite all the criticism and skepticism by the scientific community, found ways to actually prove that lucid dreaming was true. And it's now evident that is as real as ever, and it is actually a science. I should also say that it's a a well-developed science, and actually it's this progressive science and quickly being researched. Now, if you take an example, from 2000 to 2006, there have been 265 publications on the topic of lucid dreaming. So, if you take a look at the publications from 2007 to now, you can see that the rate at which scientists write about lucid dreaming is nearly doubled. So, this means that basically lucid dreaming is worthy of notice. And it's actually not only restricted to scientists, but also to the general public, to you. Now I'll take a look at one of the recent articles published, actually this month, I believe, and it's an online survey. The author of the survey was Paulius Eidukas, who is an GBG alumni, currently studying at Germany, Edinburgh University. His research focuses on lucid dreamings and their adaptations in real life, especially sports. So the survey found a lot of interesting things. The thing I'd like to talk about is, what do lucid dreamers do in their dreams? Now, we have a list of 5 things now. Anyone guessing the first one? Fly. Exactly. It's fly. Yeah, it's fun, and that's one of the most famous motivations for actually starting lucid dreaming, because we like to fly. Now, the second one is speaking with dream characters, and this can often result in creative and complicated conversations, which are quite fun. The third one is, of course, sex, because it's always on the list of fun things to do. The fifth one is meeting specific characters, and you think it should be the fourth one, but it's actually killing them that's more fun. So as you see, this is an important point, because there is not such a thing as moral rules in dreams. There are no laws, no nothing. You can basically do anything. You are free to do anything. And indeed, you have freedom in the absolute sense of the word, absolute freedom. You don't have to worry about natural laws, no moral laws, social laws. You can do anything. And basically, you can also enjoy your immortality. You can jump off cliffs, off skyscrapers, and you won't die. So that's quite fun. And the remaining thing to learn is to have those lucid dreams. Now, it's actually very simple, and anyone can do it, and everyone in this room. The first thing to do to learn lucid dreaming is to increase recall. The second is to learn induction, and the third one is control. Now, recall is important because we tend to forget most of our dreams that we had during the night. In fact, within 10 minutes of waking up, most of those memories are gone. So it's actually a huge threat for any lucid dreams that you might have, because you can't forget them just in the same way that you forget any other dreams. So the way to increase recall is to actually write down the dreams, record them, for example, using a diary. It's a common method of recording dreams. You can also use a laptop or a voice recorder or anything you'd like. So once you start recording dreams, your recall actually increases. And with time, you will remember more and more dreams. So once you have that, you can start starting induction techniques. Now, induction of lucid dreams often is resorts to techniques. So there are several techniques to actually become lucid and dream, and I will cover some of them. There are lots of them, dozens actually, so I won't do all of them, but the most famous one is probably RCLD, Reality Check Initiated Lucid Dream. Now, the point of this technique is that you do reality checks, and the reality check tells you if you are dreaming or not. It can be as simple as looking at your hand and counting your fingers. All of you have 5 fingers, just to check. Yeah. The thing is, you should do reality checks whenever you experience a situation in real life that might occur in a dream, such as going to school, speaking with friends. It's actually those situations that occur frequently in dreams that we call dream signs. So once you get a habit of doing reality checks, this habit will be transferred to dreams, and this will help you to catch any dreams that you might have. And it's actually a very effective method. The second method is MILD, mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, which actually refers to the auto-suggestion. But I won't go into depths of that because it is complicated. The third is WILD, it's wake initiative lucid dreaming, basically fall asleep without losing consciousness, and it can be quite interesting and can provide a lot of interesting experiences. And the fourth technique is the wake back to bed method, which involves waking at specific times that are synchronized with your sleep cycle so you can have lucid dreams more effectively. And the thing is that those techniques are by no means static. You can adapt them to your own personality because everyone is different, and that's the case with dreams. And of course you can combine these techniques together to increase the effectiveness and actually increase your chance of having a lucid dream. So the last thing to do is to learn control of dreams. Now, being lucid does not automatically mean that you will be able to control the dream. You can actually be lucid and still have no control. So the thing to solve that is to actually focus your mind, clear any doubts that you are dreaming, and basically start slow, but then move on to greater things. Now, with time and experience, you learn to control even more things, and finally you actually learn to move mountains, literally, in a dream. So my message is actually very simple. You have 1 month each year to have lucid dreams. You have 1 month each year to actually be inspired, to become like those scientists that I mentioned. You have 1 month each year to change the world, and that's why I'd offer you. Thank you.